Hey, everybody, welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today is Carolina football. We're going to slowly roll out some position group drops here over the next couple of weeks. I think maybe not slowly. We're going to do pretty much most of them in the next couple of weeks, maybe between now and the end of May, get into early June. And we're going to begin today with the running back room. So what does the running back room look like? Well, it's obvious, right? Everyone's like, well, why do you need to do a drop at the running back room? It's Omarion Hampton, and Omarion Hampton. That's true. But Omarion's not going to play every snap. And what happens if he gets dinged up? Who's going to play? Who's the second back? Who's the third back? What kind of rotation will the Tar Heels have in the backfield? Okay, so let's start with Omarion, obviously. 1,504 yards last year. He was first team All-ACC, made some All-America teams, 15 touchdowns. He actually caught 29 passes for 222 yards and a TD, and he had an 88.7 PFF grade. That's outstanding. He was a great college player last year and could be as good or better this year. Depends on the passing game. They got to kind of go hand in hand there. Okay, so we know all about Omarion. Could he be a Heisman candidate? Yeah, we're not going to go there. We went there with Sam a few years ago, went there with Drake last year. Neither came close. Not that we're not going to do it because of that, but a lot of people don't like early Heisman talk stuff anyway. And I'm kind of that guy. I did it because I thought a lot of people wanted to hear about it. I never pay attention to Heisman stuff in May, June, July, not even August. So we're not going to hit on that, at least for a while, with Omarion. So who's behind him? How about Darwin Barlow? Many of you have no idea who Darwin Barlow is. He's a running back that transferred in from Southern Cal. He's actually at his third school, North Carolina. He started out at TCU. He's from Texas. By the way, grew up a huge Mac Brown fan. His whole family loves Texas. Big Longhorns fan. He was a Longhorns fan. Played at TCU for 2 years. He redshirted his first year, 2019. And in 2020, he played a decent amount, but gets the year back because it's the COVID year. He transferred after that year to Southern Cal, where he spent the last 3 seasons. So he has 1 year of eligibility left. He'll be in his 6th year in college with 1 year of eligibility. He's run for almost 1,000 yards in his career, 993 to be exact. He scored 11 touchdowns, so he's got experience. He's a college graduate, smart guy. He's a guy that when North Carolina reached out, he knew Omarion was there. And I think one thing that's very impressive about him, when we talk a lot about the basketball portal, about fit and chemistry, well, Darwin Barlow fit. I mean, Carolina had some very difficult tasks in the portal this spring, one of them being finding a running back. I mean, who's going to want to go there with Omarion there? Darwin Barlow did. He understood that he would be a backup. He knew what was in front of him, but he wanted to be a part of that backfield. He liked the offense. He thinks that he could shine in that offense. And he, of course, likes the school, and the idea of playing for Mac Brown was certainly part of the lure. But he likes the offense. He likes being a part of the rotation. He can catch balls out of the backfield. He can run wide. He can run power. He's got some speed. And he's a smart guy. Davion Goss. You probably don't know much about him either because he's a true freshman who enrolled in January. Had a good spring. Bullet. We may end up referring to him as Bullet Goss by November. That's his nickname, Bullet, because he's fast as a speeding bullet. He's from Florida, 4-star kid, played Madonna, one of the great high school programs in the nation. Didn't have eye-popping numbers in high school because he didn't need to, because his team crushed the crap out of everybody. He carried the ball 8 times in the state championship game. Didn't need to carry it more. They're blowing people out. But he's really good and he's really fast. I think he's ultimately the heir apparent to Omarion Hampton. He's the next guy that goes for 1,000 yards, not named Omarion Hampton. Next guy in this program. I think he will be in the rotation this year. He's really good. He could pass Barlow, to be honest with you. He's that talented. He came in already a good pass blocker because his high school, it has a little bit of a college thing going on there with the training facilities and how they condition and how they teach. And they threw the ball quite a bit. So he came in already knowing how to pass block. That's huge. Most freshmen come in, they have no idea. Some guys come in from schools that throw 7-8 times a game, and it takes them a couple of years to learn how to pass block. Davion Goss can already do that, and that's important because that means he could play on all 3 downs. And if something were to happen to Omarion, you don't want to be so predictable back there. So you can have a Barlow back there in all 3 downs. You can have a Davion Goss back there in all 3 downs and be able to run everything in the playbook that you want to. Behind him, you're looking at Caleb Hood. And the reason I say behind him, because until Caleb gets healthy enough to consistently be on the field, he's going to lag behind on the depth chart. When healthy, nice player. If you don't recall, go ahead and Google the 75-yard run at App State 2 years ago. He's got some speed. He can run power. His true freshman year, Tar Heels were using him in short yardage stuff. He can block. He's a legacy. His dad, Errol, played at Carolina. But Caleb's got to get healthy. He can catch the ball. He's a smart dude. He's physical. But he's got to get healthy. Also in that room, by the way, just an example that Caleb's a nice player. He's averaged 4.9 yards a carry in 80 attempts in college. Jordan Louis redshirted this past year and missed spring. I really can't tell you a whole lot. His name just doesn't come up, but he's back there and he's a scholarship guy. And he's important because they also have Major Bird, a walk-on who was moved over from defensive back during spring practice. Now, how well did Major Bird play? Mac Brown said about a week or so before spring practice ended that one of the positions they were going to look at in the portal this spring was running back. Because Hood can't stay healthy, because Louis has been banged up. And that left him with Goss, a true freshman, Barlow, a journeyman veteran, and Hampton. And if someone got hurt, they would really be in a bad situation. So they were going to go out and look for a running back. But Major Bird played so well in the spring that Mac and the staff decided, you know what? We're good. We don't need to go get that running back. We're good. And they didn't. So that's your backfield. Hampton, Barlow, Goss, Hood, Louis, and Bird. And if Omarion stays healthy, that's a great backfield because Omarion is fantastic. But I like what Barlow can give him. I really love the potential of Davion Goss. And we'll see what happens with Hood and his health. Louis, who we don't really see much of. And I did see Major Bird during the spring, a couple of practices, and it looked pretty good, but it was practice, spring game practice, that kind of stuff. We'll see. But he was good enough that they decided not to pursue anybody in the portal. So that's something. And it saved them some collective cash too. Anyway, if you're excited about the running back room at North Carolina, go ahead and click like in this video. If you're optimistic that Omarion can contend for super significant things and maybe will win us some of those awards, go ahead and click like in this video. If you're pretty excited about Barlow and his experience and his maturity in that room and the explosive potential of Davion Goss and Caleb Hood getting healthy, go ahead and click like on this video as well. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Tell all your Tar Heel friends that we're here. Tell them to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload, which is often. I'm Andrew Jones, and thank you for stopping by.